friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back. If you've been here before, today we are going to do a pick a card reading, and this is the winner of the last poll, which is a Bridgerton themed, the courtship, your path to love with your future spouse. So we have three options, and for this one I wanted to mix it up. I did remove Simon and Daphne, and I added Queen Charlotte and King George, just because I wanted to do my favorite couples of the show and of the books. I should say the show, because my favorite couple of the books has not happened yet. But we have three options. So option number one is Anthony and Kate. Option number two is King George and Queen Charlotte. And option number three is Colin and Penelope. So ask yourself which pile, or maybe piles, have a message for you. And let's talk about what this reading is going to cover. So for this reading, we are going to be looking at quite a bit of information. We're going to start at your current energy, and this is the vibe that you're putting out as you are connecting with your future spouse, as you are preparing for this connection. Then we're going to go into your future spouse's vibe energy when you meet. So this is just how they're showing up in the world, right? What they are presenting to the world when you meet. We're going to look at your first encounter. So how will you recognize each other? We're going to go into the first dance, which is what ignites between you, what kind of sets things in motion, if you will. Then we're going to look at the mask that you are both wearing. So this is anything that can complicate vulnerability between the both of you, anything that can kind of get in the way of connection. And we're going to look at the grand gesture. So how your future spouse pursues you, or how they prove their love to you. How are they going to show up and show you that you are the one for them? Then we're going to go into the union. So when does the relationship deepen? When does it begin to deepen? When does it go to kind of the next level? We're going to look at stolen moments between the two of you. And this is just the private moments, what is going to deepen the bond outside of the public eye. We will look at the promenade. So the public moments. How will friends and family perceive your union with your future spouse? Then we're going to go into the engagement. So how this connection advances to the next stage. And then we are going to kind of close this out with what you need to do right now to attract this in, to be a vibrational match to this, if anything. So this is kind of the advice for you. And then we're going to end it with a goddess energy card for you, just a message from a specific goddess that you can work with, or just a goddess message, however you want to take that. So if this sounds like something that you want to listen to, something that is interesting to you, stick around. If this is where you leave me, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you come back soon. But let's jump into the reading. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you are drawn to the Anthony and Kate sticker. We're going to place that right over there. Hopefully, maybe not. Who knows? Yep, that's kind of working. You can kind of see them. They're hiding. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. You are the co-creator of your life. You get to choose who you entertain, who you marry, who you draw in, who you connect with. So keep that in mind. Also, I did do a reading breakdown, which tells you exactly what is going to be covered, everything that we're going to be answering during this specific reading. I highly suggest that you check that out. It is timestamped below. But to get started, we are going to start with your current energy. So what is your current energy, the vibe that you're putting out as you connect with this person? And we're going to look at their energy when you are connecting with them. So this is kind of what is the vibe that is being put out, not necessarily who you both are as people. Keep that in mind. But let's start with the first person. We have the zebra. We have the snake. I did see that sticker fall down. I will fix it in a minute. And we have vibration. There we go. And let's put that. Is that better? Hopefully. And then person number 2, we have the owl. We have the horse. And we have listen. Okay, so pile number 1. My intention when I was laying out the cards was that you, my viewer, were going to be on the left and your future spouse was going to be on the right. That being said, sometimes the energies can absolutely be flip-flopped. Honor it if you know that this is you and not this. It could be, again, flip-flopped. But if this doesn't sound like who you would present as, and this doesn't sound as like something that you would put out into the world, then this is probably not your pile. Try choosing a different one. So let's get started, because we are going to start with the zebra person and what this person, what their vibe is when these two are connecting. And one thing that I do want to say, I think both of these people are matching one another to some extent. And I do want to mention some of the signs that we have here with the, oh my goodness, I can't think of words today, with the card there with the element. So the zebra in this deck is fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Snake is earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I would say vibration is a little bit more of earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we're going to talk about the owl person when we get there. But I really think that when these two connect, the zebra person is going to be in a place where they are focused on their vision. They are focused on what it is that they want to create for themselves and what it is that they're working on in their life. I do feel that the zebra person is very creative, and I do think that that's something these two have in common. But I also think that the zebra person is going to be in a place where they're not, this is not somebody who is going to be overly focused on connection, on connecting to someone or finding a relationship. It feels like they're in a place where they're open to it, but it's not necessarily what they're seeking out in that very moment in time. There's almost an understanding of when the time is right, the right person is going to show up. When the time is right, I will meet my person, but I don't have to force this. And I also think that part of that is because this person is going to have a lot going on when these two connect. It feels like there are projects, there are things that this person is working towards. And again, there's a vision, there's a higher vision, there's something that this person is actively working on accomplishing, on creating in their life. And that's going to lead them to a place where they are making it a point to just be very engaged in their own life, very much hands-on in their own life. And it could be that this zebra person has some sort of creative endeavor or some sort of project that they're working on as this connection kind of unfolds, or as they come into contact with this owl person for the first time. I also think that the zebra person is going to be undergoing a period of healing. And for some, this is them coming out of a deep healing cycle. And for others, they're kind of in, you may still be in it somewhat, but it does feel like it's going to be kind of split, where for some, that period of healing, it's kind of being put behind and you're kind of moving on to something else and you've kind of done the work. And for others, it feels like you're kind of more in the middle of it or at the tail end of that if you are the zebra. But I will say, one thing about the zebra person when these two connect is that this is somebody who's going to kind of be putting out this energy of adventure and wanting to explore, wanting to experiment, wanting to experience different things. So there's a very enthusiastic, outgoing energy to this zebra person, when this zebra person and this owl person connect. And I don't necessarily think that that's always the case. I think for some, this could be somebody who's actually more introverted. But again, this is the energy, the vibe that's being put out. It's one of, I am on the go. I am going for the things that I want. I am manifesting everything I desire. And with the zebra person, I also think there's a higher connection here. There's a deeper connection to spirit and to their spirituality. So they're really kind of in the flow. They are vibing and in the flow of their life. Like things are just flowing. They have surrendered. They're going with the flow and they are enjoying life for what it is and for what it's and in the way that it's showing up for them. But I also think that, again, there's something very creative about this person, and it could be a creative pursuit. So somebody here could be like a writer and they're writing a novel, or someone could be starting a business, or someone could be like taking on a new hobby, which is what's going to keep this person very busy, because this is going to be a very abundant time for this zebra person. But also, I think that the way that the zebra person is going to present is going to be very abundant. And I think that that's going to physically show up as well. Like the way that this person is dressed, the way that this person is carrying themselves seems to be like very nice, very put together, very overall abundant energy coming through. And there's something just very charismatic about the zebra person that is going to be very endearing to others, especially this owl person. But let's talk about the owl. So with the owl, we have the element of air, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the element of earth for the horse, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, with listen. Honestly, that could be air or water. It's coming through as both. So air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I'm mentioning these signs. This does not mean that your person has to be any of these signs or that you have to be any of these signs for this reading to resonate. I am just mentioning the signs that are here. But this owl person, when you meet, when you connect, the energy that this owl person is going to be putting out into the world is one of mystery. Like, I feel like this is somebody who's not necessarily, this isn't somebody who's showing everything at once. This isn't somebody who is super easy to read when you meet this person. There's something that's very mysterious, something that's very hard to read about this owl person when you connect with them. This isn't somebody who is showing all of their cards or putting all of their cards on the table the first time you meet. There's something about them that feels very mysterious. There's something about them that feels like they are kind of just more in observant energy than in an energy where they are sharing, like where they are overly sharing, or they're the ones that are showing up and I was gonna say kind of taking the attention, but I do think that this person is gonna generate a level of interest and attention. But I also think that they're playing it coy. They're not really showing all of who they are. They're playing it mysterious. There's something about their vibe that seems kind of like, I don't know who this is, or I don't know how to read them. But also, this owl person, when you connect, this is somebody who is going to put forth this energy of mystery, but also they come across as very grounded, very confident, very secure within themselves. So there's something that's almost alluring about this person, especially to the zebra person, because they feel almost like this draw to the owl person when they connect for the first time. I do feel, I do think that the owl person is not going to be as talkative or as open to communication as the zebra. And I'm not saying that when you try to talk to this person or they're not going to talk to you, what I'm saying is this is somebody who feels like they are holding back in a public setting. They are holding back in whatever setting that they're in, versus the zebra feels like it's more energetic energy. It's more outgoing energy. The owl feels more reserved, and the owl feels more grounded in that, in themselves, more kind of introspective when you both connect. But this is somebody who is also going to come across as very abundant. And I think it's the way that this person carries themselves, the way that this person dresses, the way that this person kind of just moves about the world. That is something that these two are going to have in common, is just how much abundance they exude. And this is somebody that it's not even about necessarily what they're wearing. Like, it doesn't have to be a brand name. It doesn't have to be something super expensive. It's the way that they carry themselves in that specific moment. And I do think that the zebra person is very fashionable, very stylish. And that's something that I think is going to kind of catch the owl person's eye. But I will say, the owl person is also going to kind of, the presence that this person gives off is very strong. Like, this is somebody that comes across as very strong, very much in their element, if you will. So when these two connect, it's like two very strong individuals coming together and connecting and holding space for one another. But let's talk about the first encounter, how you'll recognize each other. So, how do you recognize each other when you first connect? The Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, and Judgment. Okay, pile number one. This is actually very interesting, because what's coming through as far as like the first encounter, and when I'm talking about the first encounter, this could be like the first time we lock eyes with one another. This could be the first time we talk to one another. It's going to be different things for different people. But that first encounter, and I think for this group, it's one of those situations where it's like when you first look at your person, when they first look at you, like when you notice each other. This may not even be to the point where it's when you speak to one another. This feels more of like when you encounter each other. This is giving the vibes of like our eyes meet across the room, and we kind of notice, and it's like a big bam, or like a big just moment of fireworks, or this person just completely captivates me from across the room before we've even spoken to one another. Because physically speaking, there's going to be an attraction, and there's going to be kind of like this worlds collide. We've noticed one another. I'm interested, but we haven't even spoken to one another yet. And I think to some degree, there will be recognition for both of you that this is somebody special. This is somebody that can be special in your life. And I think for some of you, when you connect with this person, when you notice them, when they notice you, you are in a place, it's either you or them or both of you to some degree, where the last thing that you are thinking about, the last thing that you are focused on is like meeting and connecting with someone in that very moment. So this could be, I'm at this event and I'm kind of doing my own thing. It could be a work event. It could be something that I just kind of agreed to, and I'm here. I'm not necessarily looking for anything, but I'm making the best out of the situation. And all of a sudden, it's like the sparks are flying because I've noticed this person. Again, I keep getting like across the room. I've noticed this person from across, like they're not super close to you when you notice them, when you connect with them. So there is that deeper recognition of this feels like somebody that is special or someone that can be special. And there's also that sense of almost like a spiritual experience to some degree. I know I've heard people say like when I met my person, and obviously hindsight is 2020, but I've heard people say when I've met my person, like I knew it was them. I knew this was going to be somebody significant in my life. I knew this was going to be somebody that was going to be in my life long term, or someone that was going to change my life in some way. This is exactly what this is reading like to me, because I'm not necessarily focused on anything. I'm not necessarily looking for anything. But what happens, I notice this person, they grab my attention, that judgment card, right? That sense of connection to a higher power, to a higher self, that sense of something bigger than yourself. And the Queen of Cups, the feelings, right? The butterflies, that sense of just excitement that comes when you notice someone that is making eye contact with you. You notice someone that you find attractive. All of that is coming through for this first encounter. And I will say, pile number one, different people watching this, so different situations. But I think for a good amount of you, there is a level of when this happens, before you even speak to them, you are already having a reaction to their presence, and vice versa. Let's take a look at the first dance. So what ignites between you? So you've already seen them, you've had this first encounter. What ignites? What kind of gets the fire going, if you will? We have the Page of Swords with 15. We have the Eight of Cups with August. I actually have something to say about that, but I want to see the last card. And the Six of Cups with, I think, He Knows. So, pile number one. I actually want to comment on this because there's the Four of Cups is here, the Eight of Cups is here, and the song August is here. And if you were a Swiftie, you know. If you've listened to Taylor Swift, you know. If not, August is a very good song. You could try to listen to it, and I think it's going to give you some information as to some of what this vibe feels like to me. Because there's this sense of, I'm not necessarily looking for anything at this point in time, but this person has captured my attention. It's like your interest is piqued. And this is true for both of you, because I think that when this connection happens, when this chance meeting happens, and I think for most of you, this is going to be a very chance meeting of we're at the right place at the right time. And maybe I didn't even want to come here. Maybe I wanted to go somewhere else, but I ended up coming here. I ended up arriving at this place. And now I realize that it was meant to be. I was meant to find my way here because this is where my person is at. For some of you, this could be like a graduation. This could be, somebody's wedding. This could be somebody's birthday celebration. It's going to be different things for different people. It could be a work event for some of you. It could be something related to like schooling for others of you. But there is this sense of this feels very significant in some way, and in a way that maybe you weren't even thinking about attending this, but you were meant to be there. But as far as what ignites between you, there is that curiosity, and there is that sense of, again, we've known each other. We see the Judgment card, we see the Six of Cups. That sense of this person's soul feels familiar. I feel like I've known this person before. I feel like this is somebody that I am meant to connect with. This feels very significant. I am drawn in. And this is the case for both of you. That's what's coming through, this kind of case of you are both drawn to one another. Maybe you can't quite explain it. I think if you're not spiritual, you may kind of struggle with explaining that sense of, I feel called to this person, and it feels almost spiritual or supernatural in some way. So if one or both of you, and I would think it would be your person because you're watching this video, is not super spiritual, it may even be a little bit confusing to deal with the emotions that come up. But it's this sense of my interest is piqued, and I want to kind of get to know this person. I want to talk to this person. And I do think that part of what gets both of you communicating, part of what gets both of you going, is that you click when it comes to your communication styles. Like, this feels like somebody that's going to say something very charming, or you're going to say something very charming, and it's like you're hooked. You're both hooked in, and you want to know more. You want to learn more about this person. You may have interest in common, you may have some hobbies in common, or it just feels like somebody that is very comfortable to talk to. And again, this is going both ways, where you both feel very comfortable talking to one another. And it feels like, I want to give this a chance. I want to give myself a chance to explore this. And I think one of the great things for you, pile number one, is that you both give each other a chance without expectation, without this sense of this needs to turn into something more. It's two people that are kind of in a very good place in their lives, having this moment to connect. And I know that I said that for some of you, there is that kind of recognition that this could be something special. This feels like somebody I'm supposed to connect with, someone I'm supposed to talk to. But also, I don't think there's that level of expectation that is placed on this. It feels like it's, I'm going to enjoy this for what it is, and I am going to be present in this present moment and allow myself to explore, right, with an open mind, not necessarily needing to sit here and plan my wedding just because I'm having one conversation with this person. And I think part of what is going to make this feel like it's very easy flowing and like it's kind of just right, because it's going to feel right for this group, is the fact that both of you are in such good places, that both of you are not overly focused. Because I do think while both of you are not looking for something, you both are open to something. So it's a very different energy of, I have to go out, I have to make this happen, then I'm enjoying my life, I'm doing the best that I can, and I know that when the time is right, my person is going to show up and join me on the journey, and we get to embark on a brand new journey together. And you know what? Let's keep going. So we are going to look at the mask that you both wear, and this is going to be kind of like anything that can complicate vulnerability between one or both of you. Let's see what we get. So we have the Five of Spring, or the Five of Wands. We have the Four of Winter, or the Four of Swords. And we have the Seeress, or the High Priestess. All right, so pile number one, let's talk about kind of any obstacles that can get in the way. First and foremost, do not discount yourself. And this goes for your future spouse as well. But I can't talk to them because I'm talking to you. You're the one viewing the video. But it's really important, I think, for this connection that one or both of you does not approach this in a way where, like, oh, this person, they're almost too good to be true. Or this person, they're not going to be interested in me. Or maybe this person has a lot going on and I shouldn't shoot my shot. Somebody in this connection is going to have to shoot their shot. And for some of you, pile number one, the viewer, it could be you. And for others of you, it's going to be your person. But there is this level of being open to the fact that you can receive exactly what you're asking for. And this is almost like, don't count yourself out before you even give yourself a chance. Don't feel like you have to like talk yourself out of this is wonderful and this is great and this could be a good opportunity. Because I think during the first encounter and when you start talking to one another, somebody needs to make the move and say, can I get your number? Can we keep talking? Or can we go out? Can we meet up? Because again, I feel like for most of you, you may meet this person at an event or at when you're out and about, and there's an opportunity where we're kind of flirting, we're going with the back and forth, we're having a good time, but somebody has to make the move and keep it going from this point forward. And with this Five of Wands especially being here, because the Five of Wands can be a card of competition, it's one of those situations where keep in mind not to count yourself out. And the same is going to be true for your future spouse, because we're looking at both of your energies. So this could be you, them, both of you. So don't feel like, you're not going to kind of shoot your shot, or you're not going to take a chance, especially if you feel like the other person is kind of playing it safe and they're not going to kind of try and keep it going in some way. But also, what I think this is speaking to for some of you is you may be in a place where the focus is me. You may be in a place where, you may not want to overly complicate your life, or you may be in a place where there may be some fears around love and relationships and what it would mean to open up and to connect with someone. Because I do think, pile number one, I think for both of you, you're going to be in a place where you've probably been single for a while, or if you haven't been single for a long time, it's more of, I kind of went through this situation where it wasn't the best and I don't know if I want to get involved. So it could be like we have some walls around us, we have some hesitation, trepidation when it comes to connecting. So do I just want to enjoy this for what it was and move on, or do I want to give myself a chance to truly open up and connect and experience this connection and take a chance on it, right? And I think for both of you, one or both of you, but I think honestly both of you, there's going to be a level of, my life is good right now, and I don't know that I want to fully take a leap into this, but also this person is really interesting. This person is really attractive. This person and I have so much chemistry. So part of what's coming through here is trust yourself. And I think part of what can complicate the vulnerability for both of you is bypassing your intuition, bypassing what you know is right, trying to allow ego and fear and worst case scenario get the best of both of you, and not wanting to take a leap on this, wanting to kind of keep your independence and your privacy and keep yourself safe to some extent. And again, that message of don't count yourself out. And that applies for both of you, but pile number one, again, I can only talk to you because you're the one watching. Let's see what else we have here. So we're going to look at the grand gesture. So how is your future spouse going to pursue or prove their love? Like, what is their... Wait a minute, I missed one. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put those there. I missed one because this was a part of this. So this was the mask. Part of the mask was, the Two of Wands. Part of the mask, I'm sorry, I almost missed that. Part of the mask here, or part of what can cause complications when it comes to being vulnerable and actually connecting with one another, the Two of Wands kind of rounds out the message perfectly. Not wanting to step out of your comfort zone, not wanting to step out of what feels safe to you. Because this is somebody that you're going to have to be vulnerable with, right? This is somebody that you're going to have to show all of yourself to, and somebody that from the get-go you feel a strong connection to. And that can be scary. That can be intimidating. That can be very overwhelming. But let's take a look at the grand gesture. The Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Wands, the Star card, and the Magician. Okay, this is going to be a grand gesture after all. So when I say grand gesture, right, I'm trying to kind of keep it cute and keep it Bridgerton themed, but obviously what I mean is how this person is going to pursue you, how this person is going to prove themselves to you, how they're going to show up. For you, pile number one, let me be honest. I think this is going to be a slow build. I think this may be one of those, we're both going to take our time. Not necessarily we're going to drag our feet. Because I think once the choice is made, once that commitment is kind of there, once both of you decide that you want to pursue this, I think things move at a good pace. I don't think this is a connection where you're going to be rushing to the point where, you know, you're kind of going too fast. But I also think that once things get going, they are going to progress in a timely manner. But I think the initial getting this going is going to take a little bit of time. For some of you, it's because it's on your side. For others of you, it's on your future spouse's side. For maybe a few of you, it's both of you, right? Different things for different people. But there is this sense of, I'm trying to word this correctly. There is this sense of this is going to take a little bit of time before this kicks off, because I do think there are levels of somebody's going to get in their own way. Is it you? Is it them? Is it both of you? That's intuitively take that message as it resonates. Trust your intuition on this one. But I do feel like somebody is getting in their own way, and this is going to take a little bit of time to kind of build up the courage. But I also think that it comes to a point in time where I no longer want to fight this, because this feels like it's something that I want to pursue, because intuitively I know this is right for me. In my gut, I know that I need to kind of give this a chance, and I know that I will regret if I don't. So this could be a situation where you meet, you have a great first encounter or a first date or a first meeting, a first conversation, whatever you want to call that. And then things kind of like, yeah, we may exchange information, but as we're talking, we may realize, like, right now I have a lot coming up. You have a lot coming up. Maybe there's like a trip in between that kind of slows things down. There's some sort of obstacle, I have to say, for this group. And for some of you, you may already know who this is, and you're kind of in the middle of the obstacle part, right? In the middle of things not truly kicking off. But I think that it's going to be for this group, I think your future spouse is going to be the one to pursue. I think your future spouse is going to be either the one to pursue in the sense of maybe you're the one that is not fully on board and they're kind of just showing up consistently and trying to convince you, not in a creepy way, not in a weird way, but just in a way that they're letting you know that they're interested and they want to keep the connection going. Or for others of you, it could be that there were the ones that were at first a little bit hesitant. And again, it doesn't have to do anything with you. It has to do with them and their readiness for connection. Even if you're the one that is hesitating at first, it's not because of the person. It's because of some fears. It's because of what's going on in your personal life at the time. But regardless, it feels like this person really kind of pulls out the stops and they show up and they tell you, I want you, I want to be with you, I want to try this, I'm all in, let's go all in with this. This person may come in with like a love letter. This person may come in with some sort of poem. This person may just kind of give you a phone call where they share their feelings. Like feels like something that is very deep, very intimate. And they're not giving up. But it feels like it could even be a text message, but it feels like they come in with some level of just, this is what I want, this is what you mean to me, and this is how I want us to proceed. So this does feel like an offer, like a very clear offer is put on the table. And they offer you more, they offer you growth, they offer you like, let's explore this and let's go down this path together and see where it takes us. But again, there's a level of some sort of challenge, some sort of obstacle. And I want to make this clear, I do not feel like it's a third party. And that's why I want to make it clear. I don't feel like it's, there's somebody else, or it's more internal for one or both of you, where it's just more internal as far as how it's showing up. Let's take a look, because now I'm curious. We have the union, right? So we're going to look at when does the relationship deepen? And this could be like when, more like time wise. This could be when, as in like just what is going on or how. Let's see what we get. The King of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Cups. Pile number one, this relationship deepens. First of all, it just feels like somebody realizes, one or both of you, realizes I cannot keep going. Like, I don't want to. My need for keeping myself safe and not getting potentially hurt or not being vulnerable is not bigger than my desire to connect with this person and to explore where this can take us. This does feel like there's a deciding factor for both of you where you're both ready to take the leap. And I also think that this relationship deepens when you have a conversation. Like, it feels like a serious conversation happens of, what do you want? What do I want? How would we align? What would happen if this doesn't work out? These are my expectations. These are your expectations. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? And I think that this kind of talks and confirms the previous message. I do think there is some sort of communication that comes in that really puts on the table, this is where I'm at, and this is how I'm showing up, and this is what I desire with you. Can we meet? Can we connect? How can we move forward? Which leads to the deepening of this connection, to taking things to the next level. Because someone, and I think it's going to be your future spouse, someone opens the communication lines. And there's also a sense of, we're in it, we're jumping in, we're going all in. And that's what I got earlier, where I think for this pile, things may be a little bit slow to start, but once they get started, they move at a good pace. And for some of you, you may know who this is already. You may have an idea. You may have already connected with them. But let's take a look at the stolen moments. So this is kind of just what deepens your bond outside of the public eye, the private moments that you spend together that help you connect to even a deeper level once you are kind of in the relationship stages. So we have the Ace of Pentacles with Delicate. We have the Fool card with 22. And we have the Six of Pentacles with Our Song. So those are songs that you can listen to if you'd like. Pile number one. So I think when you spend time, those private moments, right? Not what's being shown to other people, not what's happening for the public, but what's happening between the two of you. I think a lot of what is going to help you guys get even more comfortable with one another and open up to one another and bring things to even the next level, right? Because we're talking about levels. This is courtship. We're talking about deeper levels and getting to like a deeper knowing of each other. I think a lot of that has to do with first and foremost, I think there's going to be a lot of dates and a lot of adventures that you are both going to go through. I said under. Why did I say under? Somebody going to Australia. But that you're going to be kind of going and exploring and having a good time. And I think that you're going to spend a lot of time together where you are taking both of you out to do something fun, where there are activities, there are ways to connect and have a good time and get to know each other without the pressure of having to show up and share with everyone. And I would say, I think this is a group where at the beginning, it's going to kind of be just me and you. It's going to be us against the world. We're not necessarily going to tell everyone, or we're not going to be planning double dates, or we're not going to be going out with other people, where we want to spend this time with one another. I also think intimacy for this group is going to be very important. So hand holding, hugs, kisses, More than that, if that is something that you are open to, we're going to keep it PG for YouTube. I know. I have to get the 18 plus reading done, hopefully next week. But I also feel like what's going to really deepen the bond in your private moments is how you both show up for one another and how you both make it a point to take care of one another. Like, this feels like I was out and I thought of you, so I bought you this thing. Or I picked up these flowers because I was out and I thought of you. Or I'm sending you a text message during the day that just tells you that, I'm thinking of you and I can't wait to see you again. This feels very soft and romantic in the best way possible. Like, this feels like it's going to be very meaningful and heartfelt between the both of you. Let's actually take a look at promenade. So how will friends and family perceive your union? When it comes to friends and family, what's going on here when it comes to the relationship? The 5 of Pentacles. That's interesting. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. I'm not going to lie, pile number 1. I got so scared when I saw the 5 of Pentacles because there's nothing worse than in-laws that kind of hate you, in my opinion. And it scared me, but now I get it. Yeah, okay. Whew. Had to take a deep breath there. I was going to say, no one's going to like the messenger in 2 seconds. When it comes to how you are perceived, right? How the relationship, the connection is perceived by friends and family, I think the most important card is this 10 of Pentacles, because the 10 of Pentacles is, happy connections, happy family, happy community. It also speaks to spiritual and material satisfaction and fulfillment. It's a very happy card when it comes to family, right? The 10 of Cups really represents that connection. The 10 of Pentacles, in my opinion, is like the 10 of Cups on steroids, where it represents, yes, the union, but it also represents the surrounding members, the community itself, and having more than what we need to be happy and to be fulfilled. So when it comes to friends and family, I think there's going to be this realization that, like, you two are very good together. And I also think that there is this recognition that you bring out kind of like the hope and optimism and romance in one another. So there's like this sense of, there's like a childlike joy, or like just being able to enjoy things and to have a good time with one another and a deep connection with one another that I think your friends and family are going to notice. And I also think that your friends and family are really going to like your person, and their friends and family are really going to like you, because it's like, this person makes my brother, my sister, my cousin, my best friend, my son, my daughter, whatever it is, this person makes them happy, and I'm happy. And you are going to be really kind of embraced by this person's loved ones, and vice versa. And what I think this 5 of Pentacles is your friends and family and their friends and family recognizing that you're not as alone, or you're not as lonely, or you're not having to take care of yourself. Like, you have this person that is showing up and being the best version of themselves for you, and vice versa, that you have this sense of connection, that the things that didn't work out for both of you didn't work out because they weren't meant to, because you were meant to be led to this connection, to this point in time. That's actually really pretty. Let's take a look at the engagement. So how the connection is going to advance to the next stage and what that next stage may be. We have the 8 of Swords, Death, ooh, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Pile number 1, when it comes to the engagement, right? So how is this going to advance to even the next stage? I think there's going to be a complete transformation for both of you and for the relationship itself. What you once thought your life was going to be is going to be completely different. And there's going to be almost a freedom that both of you achieve through this relationship, where you don't have to hold yourself back, where you don't have to convince yourself that you are happy or that you are okay in situations that you are not okay in. And I do think for this group, the next step is an engagement. I do think this is a group where you're going to have an engagement that is probably going to be at least like 6 months to a year, if not longer. So it does feel like you completely transform your life and your relationship to get to the next step. And for this group, it does feel like an engagement. This doesn't feel like we're going to go off and just, elope, or we're going to, like, whatever the case may be. For some of you, you may move in with this person while you are engaged. For others of you, you are going to buy a house before you get married. Some of you will be connecting your finances with this person, and it's going to kind of, that's the next step too. Some of you, this is very few amount for this part. You may start a business with this person. I do think a good majority of you are going to buy a house and move in with this person prior to getting married. Like after getting engaged, but prior to getting married, that's coming through. All right, pile number 1. Let's take a look at, this is your advice. What do you need to know? What do you need to do? All the things. Let's see what's going on here. 8 of Swords twice. So the 8 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Page of Wands. Pile number 1, your message when it comes to what you need to do right now to attract this. You need to believe that it's possible. Don't hold yourself in this place that tells you that this is just a dream, that this is just something that you desire, that this is just a fairy tale, that you're not going to have what you desire. You're not going to meet the person that you want to meet, that this is something fun to listen to, but it may never happen for you. And you kind of tell yourself that that's going to be okay. And here's the thing. If it weren't to happen, you would be okay. But it's also okay to say, I want this and I am going to allow this in, instead of trying to convince myself that if it doesn't happen, I am going to be okay. Pile number 1, the 8 of Swords, the Hierophant being here. What are your beliefs around love, around what you deserve, and around what is coming in for you? And for some of you, it may just be time to do a quick check-in, because I do think this is a group where you've done a lot of this work. And for others of you, it may be time to do a little bit more of a deeper dive and maybe keep a journal or keep a diary and notice what you tell yourself on a daily basis. Notice how you speak to yourself. Observe your thoughts and delete anything that is not kind or graceful or compassionate towards yourself. This is also saying part of what you can do right now is bring more joy into your life, bring more gratitude into your life. I know it's easier said than done, but doing the things that are going to allow you to have a good time while you wait. You don't have to put your life on hold. Do the things and allow yourself. Allow this to unfold. Allow this to be somebody that joins you on the journey, not something that you are waiting for. Because remember, when you connect to this person, you're focused on yourself. And for those of you that know who this is, if you both decided that right now you need some space, that you're not ready, that is okay, because it's going to be this person or something even better that's going to come your way. And you deserve that. We have some more advice here. Let's go here. We're going to end it with the Goddess card. Let's see what other advice we have here. The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. So yeah, this is going to unfold when the time is right. 22, right? A master number, but also 2 plus 2 is 4. This is taking root. This is going to come together when the time is right. There's a lot that's happening that you cannot see with the naked eye. Trust in the process. Then we have be willing to express love to receive love. And I said this for this group at the towards the beginning. Someone has to make a move and someone has to keep this going. So don't be afraid to be that person if you feel guided to, but also don't be afraid to tell your person how you feel or tell others how you feel, right? Expressing love isn't just about romantic love. It could be, you know, mom, dad, brother, best friend, sister, family member. I love you. Let's spend time together. It's about allowing yourself to express your emotions. It could also be about expressing your emotion in some form of art form as well. But we have a goddess card, and this is how we're going to end it. We're going to see what goddess is here for you and what the message is. And we have Hera with resilience. Obstacles are preparation for greater accomplishment. So for those of you that are going through some obstacles at this time, it's just helping you get to where you want to be. Be very intentional about your perspective at this time. This could be a goddess that you work with if you feel called to. But yeah, pile number 1, that is what I have for you. Claim it in the comments. I deserve love and welcome it. You deserve it and you welcome it. That's all you have to do. Pile number 1, let me know what you thought. Let me know who your favorite Bridgerton couple is. I'm very curious. I'm curious if we have any that are Daphne and Simon. And if you've read the books and we haven't gotten to that season yet, let me know, because Francesca is absolutely mine, and I love to hear opinions. But don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what else you'd like to see. I do write them all down. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the King George and Queen Charlotte sticker. And I'm going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, for this reading, I did do a reading breakdown. It is time-stamped below. It's going to tell you exactly what will be answered during this reading and what we're going to go over. So I highly suggest that you check that out. But to get started, we are going to start by looking at your current energy, like the vibe that you're putting out when you connect, when you meet this future spouse, and their current vibe, like their vibe when you meet and connect with them. So let's get started. So for person number 1, we have the camel, we have the fox, and we have acceptance. And for person number 2, we have the buffalo, we have the lamb, and we have emotion. Ooh, okay. And my intention when I was setting the cards was for the person on the left to be you, my viewer, and the person on the right to be your future spouse, your person. But it could be that the energies are flip-flopped. And we are looking at just like the vibe, what is being presented, not necessarily exactly who each of you are. But if this doesn't sound like you and this doesn't sound like you, it could be that this is not your pile, so you can try choosing a different one. But let's get started. So let's talk about the camel person first. And with this camel person, actually, before we talk about the people involved, let's actually talk about the signs. So the camel card in this deck, we have the element of fire. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius represented. We have the fox with Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have acceptance. To me, that can be some Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we will talk about the Buffalo person's zodiac signs that are coming up. But as a reminder, I'm just mentioning these. You don't have to have one of these signs for this reading to resonate. Take it as extra confirmation if it does. So when it comes to the energy that the camel person is in when these two connect, this is going to be somebody who is in their independent energy. And I think that's going to be true for both of these people, but especially for the camel person. This is somebody who is in a place in their life that when this connection comes together, when they meet one another, when they connect with one another, this camel person is going to be feeling quite in alignment in their own life. And there's almost this like strong independent vibe coming off of this camel person. And I also think that the camel person is going to be in a place where there's a sense of self-confidence and a sense of just inner peace and harmony that they are going to be putting out. And I want to kind of send this reminder at this point that this is the vibe, right? Like this is the energy that they're in, but also the energy that they are presenting. But for the camel person, it feels like everything is going the way that it needs to go, and everything feels pretty much in alignment. So when these two connect, the camel person feels to be in a place of self-confidence, self-worth, not necessarily feeling the need to fill a void with someone else, and the sense of security within self. And I also think that the camel person is going to be in a place where there's some sort of accomplishment, some sort of achievement that this person has gained and has kind of had access to that is really going to help them to feel more confident in themselves. Like this is somebody who life just feels like it's flowing, and it almost feels like they've reached something that they've been working towards for a very long time. And I also think that the camel person, for some, this is somebody who's like traveling. This is somebody who's really on the go. I do think that this could be somebody that they're in a place and point in time where like finances are good. They're able to travel. They're able to do the things that they are interested in. They are able to kind of take on some hobbies or go on some adventures. So it really does feel like they are just in alignment and everything is going their way. And I'll also say one thing about the camel is that when these two connect, the camel person is going to really be leaning into their wisdom and leaning into their intuition and what it is that they know about the world around them. This could be somebody that has like a deep desire for a connection, but the way that they're going about it feels like they're being very particular and very almost selective about who they allow into their circle. So just because this is somebody that is looking to date and looking to connect doesn't mean that they're willing to let just anyone in or they're willing to give just anyone a chance. This is somebody who's going to be very selective and someone who is really screening the people that they are allowing near themselves at this specific point in time. And I think part of the vibe that this person is going to give off is like, I am confident, I am secure, and I'm not wasting my time. So there is this almost knowledge of, if I approach this camel person, I better not waste their time. Or if the camel person even gives me some time, I need to know that I need to come in correct. I need to know that I'm not going to waste their time, because it's the vibe that you're giving off, that you're not going to waste your time on anyone. And I do think that when you um, meet and connect with your future spouse, a part of the vibe that you're giving off is like you are feeling very safe and secure within your friendships if you are the camel person, or that's the vibe that the camel person is going to be giving off. And I would say that one of the biggest things that this camel person's vibe is going to be putting out is just peace, like calming, peaceful energy. And also this sense of no one is going to take me out of my element. Like I am very grounded within myself. And I do think there is a level of just the camel person kind of holding back and not sharing everything and all of who they are and all of what they represent immediately. So there is a level of like mystery to this person's aura as well. But let's talk about the buffalo person. So, with the zodiac signs here, both the buffalo card and the lamb card have the earth element. So, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we have emotion, which is some water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But this buffalo person is going to be in a similar place as the camel person. These two are going to be presenting as very much in their own element, very secure and safe within themselves, but also very grounded. And this buffalo person is going to kind of give off the vibe that everything that they've ever desired is exactly what they want, that they are able to manifest the things that they desire, that they are very abundant, that they are very well put together. And the thing is, pile number 2, I really truly believe that that is the case for your person. Like this feels like somebody who does have a lot going for them, someone who is in the present moment grounded, someone who is working towards their dreams and desires. And one thing that I think is going to be obvious for both of you is that you are both in a place in your lives where everything is going well, where everything is going good. And even though there are things that you desire that you may not already have, you are in a place where you can be patient about receiving that which you are still waiting for. So neither one of these people are giving off any like desperate vibes, or neither one of these people are showing that there's necessarily something missing in their life. And this buffalo person is going to kind of give out this sense of maturity. And I think that this is somebody that is going to make this camel person feel very comfortable. So if you are the camel, when you meet the buffalo, there is a sense of safety that they emanate, this sense of I can trust this person, I can kind of be myself, and I can put my guard down a bit around this person. And the buffalo person is someone who is very emotionally available and emotionally in tune with where they're at and what it is that they desire out of the world. So I think that that's something that you're going to be able to read if you are the camel and you are meeting the buffalo. But this buffalo person also has a very practical way of being to them. This is someone that like what you see is what you get. This isn't somebody who's playing games. There's something about the buffalo that is very strong, but also very gentle at the same time. And I think a big thing is going to be that this buffalo person is not one that's going to say too much. But I also think that that's true of the camel person as well. Like these two feel like the type of people that are more on the introverted side, or at least that's the energy that they're in when they come across one another, when this connection is about to start and take off. But one thing that these two have in common is just how much how much peace they exude and how much confidence they exude at the time that you both connect. It's like this quiet strength that exists for both of these people, and this gentleness. And one thing that's also coming through is that this is two people that are going to be extremely honest. This is two people that are going to communicate in a very honest and empowering way. And I think there will be that recognition very early on of, this is somebody who, what they say is what they mean, and this is coming through for both of you. And I also think when it comes to the buffalo person, this is somebody who is very authentic in their interactions, and that's one of the things that the camel is going to notice about the buffalo person, is just how authentic they are in their interactions. But let's take a look at the first encounter. So this is going to tell us how you'll recognize each other. And this could be at first sight. This could be when you first start communicating. Just how will you recognize each other? Strength card. I'm not surprised to see the strength card here because there's a lot of that coming through. The 7 of Cups. The Page of Cups. Okay. So pile number 2. Part of what's coming through here as far as how do you recognize each other has to do around, first and foremost, I think this is somebody that, this is almost like somebody who is a dream come true, or somebody that is the type of person that you've been manifesting, that you've been desiring. And this is true for both of you. So there is almost that recognition of, maybe it's not like a spiritual recognition of, I know this is my person and I know this is my soulmate, but there is a level of like, this is the type of person I'm interested in. This is the type of person I want to connect with. And this is the type of person that I want to give my time and energy to. So I think deep down, there's going to be this recognition of, this is someone that I would like to know more of. This is somebody that I would like to spend more time with. And I also think that there's a level of excitement when you notice one another, when you meet one another. So whether that is you introduce yourselves, or for some of you this could be like an online situation, or like you kind of swipe left on them, and wait, is it swipe left or swipe right? I have not been online dating in so long. Swipe left, right? No, swipe right. Swipe left is when you don't want anything with it. When you swipe right, or they swipe right on you, there is that sense of that piqued interest, that I am interested. I want to know more about this person. And again, this is the type of person that I want to get to at least know more about. And I think part of what is going to draw you into one another, part of what is going to help you recognize one another, is the fact that there's this sense of peace and calm that the other person ignites within you. And I think that's going to be true for both of you, where there's this sense of like, I don't really know who this is, but they kind of make me feel at ease. They make me feel comfortable. There's something about one another that does not feel dramatic, that does not feel overwhelming, because I think this is a group where if it feels overwhelming, if it carries drama, if it carries anything like that, you would both walk away, even if it was somebody that was very attractive, even if it was somebody that was like exactly your type, but they carried like this kind of like very live wire type of energetic current to them, you would both walk away. So there is that sense of like, this feels very peaceful, and it feels exactly like the type of person I would go for. And also that recognition that, like, this is kind of what I've been manifesting. This is kind of what I've been desiring. So I want to know more. So there is a very open-minded approach of, I just want to know more. Let's take a look at, we're going to look at the first dance. So what ignites between you two? We have the Magician with Mastermind. We have the Empress with Long Live. And these are songs that you can listen to if you want. You don't have to. And then we have the Six of Swords with I Forgot That You Existed. Okay. So when it comes to like this first dance, this first sense of just getting to know one another, and this what ignites the fire between the two of you, I think a big thing is going to be physical attraction is one of those things. Like how you look, how they make you feel, how you make them feel, how I think the butterflies, right, are coming up here, just kind of like that sense of excitement, that sense of physical attraction. I really like what I see. I also think for this group, it's going to be I like what I hear as well. So just it could be the voice. I'm getting that coming through. That's very specific. So it could be their voice. It could be your voice. It could be that the voice is something that both of you really like about one another, but that's coming through as well. And one thing that's coming through, pile number 2, is that this feels like the type of relationship where this person is the type of person that you're looking for, but also this person is very different from perhaps like previous connections, previous relationships. So there is almost this recognition of like, this is what I'm looking for in my life at this time. This is the type of person that I am manifesting in my life at this time. This is the type of person that I need in my life at this time, where it's healthy, it's mature, it's honesty, it's someone that you can tell has integrity, someone that you can tell is going to show up in the ways that you need them to. And I think that in the initial talking stages, that recognition comes through of, I want to know more, and I really enjoy how this person listens as well, because I think that you are both very good listeners. So that sense of, I'm not only talking to just hear myself talk, I am talking and my person is listening to me. This person is taking the time to really communicate and to uphold a conversation, because I think that you are both going to have some very interesting conversations that that I don't think is something that one or both of you is used to, where it's going to flow nicely. It's going to kind of just go from one topic to the other very nicely. And I think this is the type of person that you can talk to for hours. And I'm almost hearing like, I haven't talked to somebody so long in years, or maybe even ever. I've never been on the phone with someone, because I do think pile number 2, this is somebody that you're going to have conversations with, not only in person, but like by phone. We're picking up the phone. We're not just texting, and we're talking about everything and allowing ourselves to really get to know each other at a deeper level. And I think that what you're going to find is that you and this person have things in common throughout your lifetimes, like experiences in common that are very similar, that are things that you've kind of gone through throughout your lifetimes, and things that you can relate to one another through. Let's take a look at the mask you both wear. And this is going to be anything that can complicate vulnerability between the both of you. So this is like any obstacle, any challenge, anything that can come up. We have the Worlds, the Six of Autumn, which is the Six of Pentacles in this deck, and we have the King of Winter, which is the King of Swords in this deck. So pile number 2. When it comes to vulnerability and when it comes to what can get in the way for both of you, I think a big thing is going to be just making sure that you are communicating clearly, that you are both making it a point to communicate clearly, and that you are both putting in the effort with communication. So this is somebody, and you are someone, this is true for both of you, where you need an equal give and take. So this isn't the person that they are going to take on the burden of being the one to always reach out first, especially at the beginning, because I think it's going to feel for your person like maybe they're just not as interested, or this is not the person that is going to enjoy if they have to be the one to carry the entire conversation. And the thing is, I think that you both have that in common, and you both may have experiences in common where you were expected to be the one to always reach out, or you were expected to always be the one to kind of keep the conversation going. So making sure that there's an equal give and take in this connection is going to be very important. I also think on that note, one of the things that's going to be important for this connection, for this relationship, especially at the beginning, because we're talking about the courtship, right? So at the beginning is to make sure that you are not carrying the past with you. Just because somebody, let's say just because somebody forgot to say something in the past, or when they said something, it meant something, or, you know, X, Y, and Z. Do not project or do not bring the past into this connection, into this relationship. Allow this person to demonstrate who they are. Allow this person to show you exactly who they are without carrying the weight of the past and past connections and who other people were, right? We are not generalizing. It shouldn't be like all men, all women, all people, whatever. It's let me show up and let this person show me who they are, and not carry this weight of the things I won't do or the things I shouldn't do because in the past it didn't turn out my way. It's one thing to have boundaries, it's another thing to carry the weight of a previous connection, a previous relationship, and expect your new partner or your new potential partner to be the one to deal with it. And again, this is going both ways, but I can only talk to you because you're the one watching this. So this could apply to you, this could apply to them. This is about how both of you can struggle with vulnerability and what may come up. So it can be more than likely it's both of you, but also if this doesn't sound like something that you would do, this could also be something that your future spouse has to kind of work through. And I also think that understanding that not everyone can read your mind, right? No one can read your mind. So if something is bothering you, bringing it up instead of letting it fester and instead of letting it grow and get out of control is going to be important. So that's that communication aspect for both of you. I'm just making sure there's nothing else that wants to come through. And being open, right? Being willing to being vulnerable is going to be very important in any connection, in any relationship. But I think especially in this one, and especially at the beginning. So let's take a look at what is the grand gesture. So how your future spouse pursues or proves their love, their feelings for you. What are they going to do? We have the Knight of Pentacles. I love that already. We have the Devil card. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Three of Swords. And we have the Four of Wands. I really like this pile number 2 because I think for this group, the grand gesture isn't so much a grand gesture as much as it's a consistency and someone showing up and being consistent and being dedicated. When it comes to how your future spouse is going to pursue you and like prove their love to you, one thing about this person is that they are going to allow their actions and their words to match. and they're going to allow their actions to do the talking. This is someone who's going to take their time. This is someone who is very consistent. This is somebody who's going to show up in a very consistent way. So what does that grand gesture look like, or how does that pursuing look like? This looks like somebody who's reaching out, somebody who's keeping the conversation going, someone who's keeping you in the loop. Like, for example, if they have a busy day at work, they're going to let you know, hey, just so you know, today I'm not going to be able to respond, or I'm not going to be able to have access to my phone, but can we schedule a date? I'll pick you up at 7, or I'll come over, or you can come over, however that wants to work out. This is somebody who's going to show you that what they mean is what they're doing, that they're not playing games, that they're not stringing you along, that they're not just in it for the short term. So this is somebody who's going to consistently show up. I feel like this is someone who also is going to be a planner. So this is somebody who calls you, and instead of saying, it's 11:30 p.m. and they're just saying, what's up? They're just going to say, like, 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Hi, I want to see you tonight. How about if we go for a walk? How about if we go get some food? What if we go to a movie? What if I come over and we cook together, or you come over and we cook together? This is going to be somebody who's going to be very intentional, and somebody who's going to show you what they mean and what they want in a very intentional way. I also think that this is somebody who's going to honor your boundaries. And I do feel for this group, the more we get into this reading, the more this unfolds, the more this message is coming through, that I think for some of you, you're coming into this maybe after a period of unknowns, or after a period of you got your heart broken, or they got their heart broken, or you're just not sure if you're ready to let someone in, or you're kind of like, maybe you have a little bit of an avoidant attachment style, or maybe it's just an anxious avoidant attachment style, or maybe you just need some space, right? Without having to label any attachment styles. This person is going to honor your boundaries. This person is going to honor how you feel and where you are at without pushing, but at the same time letting you know what they mean and what they want. And don't get me wrong. Pile number 2, this person is not a pushover. This person isn't somebody who's going to be played, but this person is somebody who's going to respect you. So this isn't somebody who you're going to kind of push away and like push and pull energy with them. Absolutely not. But this is somebody that, as long as you are communicating with them and they are communicating with you, I think the relationship is going to flow rather easily. And I think part of the way that this person is going to show up is they're going to honor your past experiences, because we have the 3 of Swords here. This is heartbreak. This is betrayal. This is things didn't go in the way that I wanted them to. Grief, right? It's a very intense and heavy energy. But we also have this 4 of Wands here. This is somebody who's showing you through their actions and through their consistency that they view you as a long-term partner. The 4 of Wands is the marriage card, and this is a reading that is focused on future spouse, right? Life partner type of energy here. So they show up through consistency. This isn't somebody who's going to do something very big once, right? They're going to do many little things throughout the connection, throughout the relationship, and they're going to show up through action. That's actually very beautiful, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look at when does the relationship deepen. So when is this union, right? We're going from the dating stages and it's getting more serious. When do we come into union? When does the relationship deepen? What goes on here? We have the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. Wow, the 4 of Wands twice there coming out. So pile number 2. This relationship for you and your future spouse, it feels like the more comfortable you both are within yourselves, the more comfortable you are within the relationship. And this really feels like there's this sense of, I feel safe with this person to the point where I can open up to them. I can trust them because they're showing me who they are. I can give my heart over to them because they're showing me that they're going to be careful, that they're going to treat me well, and that they are going to protect my heart. I do think there is a conversation early on. This feels like the type of relationship where, like, by date 3, you are both really talking about, like, this is my expectation. And this isn't me necessarily placing an expectation on you or on our relationship, but this is the expectation of what I see for my future, of the vision that I have for myself. Whether that is, I want children, I want to get married, I see myself married within 3 years, I see myself having kids within the next 3 to 5 years. Whatever the case is, there's this really deep understanding that you both gain from one another, which it feels like I am with someone, I am talking to someone, I am in a connection with someone that I'm starting to have feelings for, that I'm really developing a strong connection to, but also somebody that is in alignment with where I see my life going, where I see my life heading, and how I see my life going in the near future. And not only in the near future, but further out, right? Like, there's this alignment that allows for both of you to say, this sounds like what I want for myself, and this sounds like what you want for yourself, so we can build a life together. I also think that for this group, you build this connection, this bond. It deepens when you are allowing yourself to have fun, and when you are allowing yourself to be fully present in the present moment. This isn't something that's going to be built if you are overthinking, overanalyzing, or if you are feeling unsafe and you're feeling like you have to protect your heart. The more that you can relax into this, the more you can lean into one another and kind of build that connection. And I think that one of the ways that you're going to bond and deepen the connection is going to be through having fun, through going out, through exploring together, and finding things that you enjoy doing together. I think for this group, like, you may be somebody who enjoys, like, working out or a hike or keeping active, something along those lines. This could be you both go and travel together. Actually, that's it for some of you. For some of you, this relationship deepens, this connection deepens when you take a trip together. You go somewhere. It could be a road trip. It could be getting on a plane and going somewhere. It could be an extended weekend. But for many of you, this feels like a trip. This feels like you go somewhere and you spend time together. And that gives you an opportunity to bond and to get to know the person at a deeper level, but also to spend time one-on-one with them for a few days. And it feels like it feels right. And it allows you to relax into the experience of being connected to one another. Let's take a look at the stolen moments, if you will. So what is going to help you deepen your bond one-to-one, like outside of the public eye, just those special moments between the both of you? We have the World card with love story. Didn't we have the World card for this group already? Yes, we did. It was from the Victorian fairy deck. We have the Three of Wands, London Boy. And we have the Death card with All Too Well 10-minute version. I love that song. Anyways, pile number 2. So what allows you to build the bond and to deepen the bond and those special shared those shared moments, private moments between the two of you? I think part of what's going to happen for this group is that this person is not only going to become a lover, this person is not only going to become a partner, somebody that you are attracted to, somebody that you are excited about spending time with, but this person is also going to become someone that is truly a friend, someone that is truly a companion, somebody that feels like a safe space, and someone that feels like you can trust them. This is a relationship that is going to be built on trust, and this is a relationship that is going to be built on friendship as well. I really do feel for my pile number twos, like, yes, there's love. Yes, there's attraction. Yes, the intimacy is there. The chemistry is there. The passion is there. But what truly keeps this going and keeps this alive is the sense of friendship and the sense of respect and mutual respect for one another. And pile number two, I think that in the private moments, because we have death and the world card here, is you truly letting the other person in. You truly letting the other person to see the parts of you that no one else has seen before. And you share the parts of you that no one else has shared, that you've shared with anyone else before. And I think that's true going both ways. This is who I am behind the facade. This is who I am, and the things that maybe I haven't even told my friends or my best friend or my family members that I'm showing you because I trust you and because I enjoy this. This also feels like you are able to really let your guard down and allow this person in emotionally. And I also think through intimacy, there's going to be a lot of strong bonds that build for you and your future spouse. And I think that this is somebody who is going to really help you feel safe, and you're going to do that for them. But it's the friendship that you build that really keeps this going. All right, pile number two, we're going to look at promenade, if you will. So how will your friends and family perceive your union? What's going on in your friends and families? How are they going to look at this connection, this union, this relationship? The Seven of Wands, the Three of Swords, very interesting. The Fool card, okay. I was a little worried there. Six of Cups, okay. This is the second pile where this part of the reading, I had to just catch my breath there for a minute because I saw these two and I was nervous. Pile number two, I was nervous because we all want the in-laws and the friends, and we all want a big happy family connection, but it's all good. I get the message now. So for this group, I think what your friends and family and their friends and family, because this is on both sides, one of the things that they're going to notice is that both of you are going to relax a bit more. Like, both of you are going to feel lighter around people and just in your day-to-day life. And this message keeps coming up for this group. For one or both of you, and if I had to guess, it would be both of you, there was major heartbreak. This feels like this could be somebody that, you know, you went through a bad breakup, or maybe you went through a divorce, or they did, or it was, you know, you had this person that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and it didn't work out. So, or somebody cheated, somebody betrayed you in some way. This feels very big. Like there's this big level of just something happened to one or both of you that really had to do with like broken hearts and broken trust and possibly betrayal. And I think that your friends and family, they're going to see the difference. That you go from this person that kind of has to, is always on the defensive, or this person that is always kind of having to do things on your own and take care of yourself and look out for yourself, to this energy that feels lighthearted, right? To this energy that feels like it's more fun. To also seeing you let go of the past and leave the past where it was and embark on something completely new, completely brand new, and something that is nurturing, something that is very loving. And pile number two, I think your friends and family are really going to like both of you together because of the healing that happens as a result of the relationship. And because they see the shift that happens in each of you as individuals, and they see the beauty that you create together and that you are able to create together. And for some, I really think that they're going to look at this and say, like, this is a soulmate connection. Like, this is my sister, my brother, my whatever, my son, my daughter, my friend, my colleague. This is their soulmate. Because this person came in and my friend, my family member's energy has completely transformed into something beautiful, into something that feels very very healthy for them. So there's that like admiration, and I really do feel like your friends and family and their friends and family are really going to respect and love that you both have found one another. All right, so we're going to look at the engagement. So how the connection advances to the next stage. So this could be, you know, you move in together, you get engaged, you get married. How does this advance from the courtship to the next stage? And we have the Three of Wands, the Magician, and the Three of Pentacles. To me, this feels like this is a relationship where you may kind of just like move in together, get married. This doesn't feel like it would be a super long engagement to me. For some of you, it could be. For some of you, you know, take that as it resonates. But I think for the grand majority, this feels kind of like either we move in together and then we get married, or we kind of get married pretty quickly. That doesn't mean that there won't be an engagement, but it just feels like it goes into the wedding or the marriage or the living together for those of you that maybe don't want to get married pretty quickly. And it also feels like it's a bit of a surprise. I have to say, it feels like it's a little bit of a surprise that one person is going to kind of come in and either propose or just say like, let's do this. Let's get married. Let's move in together. Let's buy the house. Let's do the thing. To me, this feels like it's not a long engagement. This feels like it happens rather quickly. Not quickly in the sense of like 3 months you meet and then you're married, but like I don't feel a long engagement for this group is what's coming through. All right, pile number 2. Let's take a look at what you need to do right now to attract this in. If anything, this is your advice. What do you need to focus on? What do you need to worry about? The Two of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Pile number 2. If you have been overthinking, overanalyzing, try to cut that out. I know it's easier said than done, but if you've been kind of in your head a lot and really thinking about how is this going to unfold, why hasn't it unfolded yet, what's taking so long, when is this going to show up, why isn't this working out? Also, don't be looking at what other people are doing. That's their business, not yours. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone. But a big thing coming through here, pile number 2, is get out of your mind. Make a choice, do the thing, get up, re-engage in your life. For some of you, body movement, maybe stretching, walking, exercising. Obviously, check in with your primary medical provider before you start anything, such as a workout routine or anything at all, because that is what they are there for. But this feels like it's time for you to go after what it is that you want and be a more active participant. And instead of thinking about it and overanalyzing things and overthinking certain things, giving yourself permission to just take a step, to do the thing, to go for it. And for those of you where you may be struggling with like overthinking about what hasn't happened yet in your relationships, this is saying, how can you do something for yourself today, something that is going to make you feel more connected, more present in the present moment, and something that is going to get you out of that headspace. Because it feels like for some of you, there's like almost like my head is spinning because I'm thinking about just how and when and where and why. So taking a step back from that, and whatever it is that you do want to experience more of, making moves towards that. Let's take a look at what is your love advice. We have like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. So yeah, instead of thinking about it and trying to analyze it and trying to come up with the perfect plan, how can you bring more love into your life? How can you bring more of what you desire into your life? Is that's a very good way to think of it, I think. And then we have actions speak loudly, express your love through actions. And I think that's going to be your future spouse's energy. This is somebody who's going to show up and do the thing. But also, this is, again, pile number 2. You're being encouraged to take action, especially if you are in a place where you've been kind of in your mind more than in the body. Bringing that into balance can be very helpful at this time. But let's take a look at what your goddess message is. And this could be a goddess that you can work with or just a message. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, we have Artemis with focus. I am tenacious and unwavering in my intention. There we go. For some of you, Artemis is the goddess to work with, if that is something that you're into, or that could be the affirmation, right? I am tenacious and unwavering in my intention. So do not feel like something is not going to happen for you, or like you are not going to get what you want, because you are tenacious and unwavering and you deserve everything that you want. Pile number 2, claim it in the comments. I express love through action. I express love through action is your affirmation for the week. Let me know what your favorite Bridgerton couple is. Even if you've read the books and their season hasn't passed yet, I would love to know. Because I read the books a while ago, and the season, it hasn't happened yet. But I would love to know. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Those things help me out so much, and it helps the channel grow. And I will appreciate you for all of it. I appreciate you for always being here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Colin and Penelope sticker, or pollen. We're going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. You are the co-creator of your life. You get to choose who, what, when, where, and why you allow into your life. Also, for this reading, I did do a reading breakdown, which is going to tell you what the spread is going to be, everything that's going to be answered during this reading. I highly suggest that you check that out. It is timestamped below. And let's get started. So we are going to start by looking at some energies here, the energies of both people involved. So we're not going to be looking at who these people are. We're going to be looking at the energy, the vibe that both of these people are going to be presenting when they connect, when they are courting one another. And we're going to kind of do it that way for this specific reading. So for person 1, we have the wolf, the panther, okay, and strength. Holy moly. That is quite the vibe to put out. We're going to talk about it. For person 2, we have, okay, that makes sense. These two said we are mirroring, and the butterfly and worthy. Yeah. Yeah. This is coming. Okay, this is going to be a good one. So, my intention is that you, my viewer, are on the left and your person is on the right. That being said, sometimes the energies are flip flopped. So, you could be here and they could be here. But if neither one of these sounds like it could be you, it could be possible that this is not the right pile for you. So, you can try choosing a different one. But let's get started. So, as we begin, let's talk about the zodiac signs. And we have the element of Earth there, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. With the Panther card, we have the element of fire with this deck, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And with the Strength, we have some more fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You don't have to be one of those signs. Your person doesn't have to be one of those signs. Take it as extra confirmation. But that doesn't have to be the case in order for this reading to resonate. So, this wolf person, I think that both of these people, when they connect, are going to have their guard up to some extent. This feels like two people that are really putting out a very specific front, like two people that are being very intentional with the energy that they are shining outward. And when it comes to the wolf person, I really do feel that this is going to be someone who is almost like in their protective energy. Like, I am protecting myself. I am taking care of myself. This could be somebody who is like, just by their body language or by the way that they are walking, moving, by the way that they're carrying themselves, there's a level of do not approach that is coming through. And I think the Panther energy just confirms that, with the Strength card just like triple confirming the message of when these two connect, this wolf person is not in the most inviting of energies. They're not in a place where their guard is down and they are letting anyone in. As a matter of fact, I would say the wolf person is in some ways keeping people out. And that could be just through their aura and through their overall energy. But this feels like someone who is in a place of, I don't want to be bothered. And I did say this, but I think the elk person is in a similar place to some degree. But if I had to guess, the elk is pursuing the wolf. Like, when these two connect, this is going to be the one pursuing. And I don't always get that clear message, but for this group, it's coming through very clearly. I think the elk is going to be the one pursuing and putting the moves out and shooting their shot on this wolf person. But the thing about the wolf is that this is somebody who is very reliable, someone who is very trustworthy, someone who is very loving and very caring. But I also think that through some life circumstances, this person has gotten to a point where they're not always willing to show that side of themselves to others. And that's going to be the energy that they're in when they connect with the with this elk person, like when they're meeting this elk person. And it's not that this energy is just directed at the elk. It's that this is the energy that they are directing, period. Like, this is where they're at, period. And I also think that this wolf person is in a place where they feel the need to protect themselves for some reason. And I don't necessarily know why that is, different reasons for different people. But for some, it's just that they want to, like, they may be focused on work. They may be focused on, like, finances. They may be focused on manifesting something that they desire in their, like, material world. But this is somebody who's really putting the energy of just leave me alone. I don't want to deal with it. And they come across as like very strong, very much in their element, and very intimidating. Let's talk about the elk person because there's not too much else that this wolf energy wants to tell us right now. And again, I want to emphasize what we are looking at is not necessarily who these two people are. It's more of the vibe, the energy that they are in and that they are putting out when they connect with one another. Now let's talk about the elk person. So we have the elk is the element of earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have the butterfly is the element of air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we have worthy, which is some earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And as a reminder, I am reading out those signs, but it doesn't mean that you or your person have to be one of those signs for this reading to resonate. But the elk person is going to be in a little bit of a similar energy than the wolf person, but not as intense. When these two meet, the elk person is in a place in their life where they're not necessarily entertaining nonsense and foolishness. This is somebody who is very focused on their day-to-day life and also somebody who has a lot of responsibilities that they are focused on. And that is going to be their main focus when these two connect. And I will also say that one thing about the elk person is that they are going to come across as very kind and very, it's almost like there's something gentle about them, even though they are very strong and very much matching a little bit of this wolf's energy, but there's something that feels very gentle about them. And one thing about the elk person is that this is somebody that can be very stubborn. This can be somebody that is very set in their ways. And I do think that both of these people have a little bit of like resting bee face, if you know what I mean. Can I say biatch? That's how we're going to say it. Resting biatch face for both of these people when they meet. And I think part of that is just what is happening in their lives and how they are feeling, because I don't think that this is who these two are at all, but that's how they're coming through. And I do think that the elk person can even come across as a little bit like pretentious at times, even though that's not who they are. But that's kind of like what they are choosing to present for whatever reason, for whatever is going on in their life at that point in time. And I think it's because for both of these people, there's going to be a level of just going through a very transformative time in their lives when they connect with one another. And I also think that this is them hiding a level of vulnerability that is ready to come to the surface. But one thing about the elk person is that this person knows what they want and they know what they are worth. And they are never willing to accept anything less. So that's also part of the reason why their energy feels so closed off. Because that's how I would describe these two. There's an element of these two that they feel closed off to the world around them. And it's not necessarily because they're closed off, because I do think that is a little bit of the truth. But I also think that for the right person, for the right opportunity, and for the right experience, they would be more open and more flowing. But when these two meet, they're kind of a little bit like their energy is a bit closed off and their energy is a bit reserved is a good word as well. Like reserved is coming through here as well. I actually want to continue because I'm going to be honest. There's not much else coming through as far as the vibes that these two are going to be in. So let's take a look at the first encounter. So how you'll recognize each other. We have the Knight of Cups. Ooh, okay. Two of Cups. And Eight of Wands. This is going to feel like lightning in a bottle. This is going to, like, this person, they're going to grab your attention. You're going to grab their attention. For some of you, the recognition is physical at first, in the sense of, like, I am very attracted to this person. I want to know more. I want to, I'm almost like, it's almost like speechless. I'm speechless because this person is so beautiful. And I think that that's how this is going to lead. This is how this is going to begin. It's that recognition of, this person is very attractive. I am very attracted to them. For some of you, when you meet this person, you may, like, brush your hands, or, like, they brush your arm, or, like, there's some sort of contact. It's going to feel electric. You recognize each other because you are very drawn into each other physically. Yeah, for this group, it's very physical. This is coming through as very physical at first. Like, before you even realize there could be more to this, like, this doesn't necessarily feel like I've recognized my soulmate. This feels like I am very attracted to this person. This person is gorgeous. This person is everything that I like in a person, and I need to talk to them. For some of you, there's something about smell coming in as well. It could be that your scent, their scent, both of your scents really draw the other person in. This person is going to really, like, again, lightning in a bottle. You feel, it's almost like there's an electric charge in the room. And that's why I'm thinking there's some sort of touch, whether it's like you're introduced to one another and you shake hands, or maybe you meet, or it's a blind date and somebody, like, you know, you meet for the first time and maybe you've already talked and you're not even really feeling it, but then, like, you really see them and, like, there's a touch. It feels like touch is very important for this group when it comes to the recognition, like some sort of touch, whether it's we're touching hands, we kind of brush past each other. For some of you, right at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of touch coming through as well. Like, this is going to be the type of person that if you're talking to them, they're going to kind of touch you, touch your arm, or you're going to be touching their arm, or there's going to be, like, a very intentional reaching out and touching one another throughout the meeting, throughout the connection. And that's part of the recognition. It feels electric. It feels exciting. There's a lot of anticipation here, and this person turns you on and you turn them on. Pile number 3, I have to say it's here. We have that 8 of Wands there. We have the 2 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. This is physical attraction. I want to jump your bones type of attraction. That is here. That this really feels like it's one of those that it kicks off with, like, the very physical attraction more than anything else. Just because, and I don't even want to say more than anything else, because someone is going to take those words and turn them on me. But in a way that I'm not in any way saying, like, this person is only going to care about the physical. But what I am saying is the physical is so strong here that is how you recognize. That is what captures your attention. And it almost feels magical when you touch one another. Let's keep going. So we're going to look at the first dance, what ignites between you, right? Other than that first recognition, what keeps the fire going? What keeps the flames ignited? And we have Justice with Karma. Yeah, for some of you, this person is like, this is somebody from a past life. If you believe in past lives, this is a soulmate. This could be a divine counterpart. We have the 3 of Cups with Paris. And we have the Knight of Swords with This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. So those are all songs. You can listen if you feel like it. You don't have to. Pile number 3. But when it comes to what ignites between you, in addition to the physical attraction, the passion, the chemistry, we're going to leave that aside because that's there, that's loud. it's not going to stop. And I am working on the 18 plus reading. This is a good reminder to get that done, hopefully within the next week. But that's a big part of it. But also what ignites this is, this feels like two people that just click, that just mesh well together. I think that you both are going to laugh a lot together. Like, you're both going to enjoy spending time with one another. There's a level of, I've only known you for a day, or I've only known you for a week, and it feels like I've known you for my whole life. There's a level of comfort that you both share with one another that feels right. It just feels like this is where I belong. And you did choose the Colin and Penelope sticker, which, interestingly enough, they have the friends to lovers. And this is different though, because they had to kind of, at least Colin had to, there was a while before he noticed her. This person is noticing you from the jump, but also what keeps the fire burning, or what really ignites the fire past, like, this could be something, because when the physical attraction is there, when the passion, the chemistry is there, it's something that can be a good time, but that's not necessarily what's going to lead to somebody courting you, or what's going to lead to a relationship, right? That could be something that's short term. Like, passion alone is going to burn out. And what ignites this, what keeps the fire going for this, is that sense of recognition, that sense of belonging. And also, I think that you are both going to have a lot in common about the things that you desire, and also the things that you are working towards in your life. So this could be somebody that you have a similar career, you have similar interests. It just feels like this is someone, this is someone that there is a friendship here. There is a sense of belonging here that is what ignites this. And a lot of this has to do with, like, teasing, fun, banter. I think that there's, like, a level of sarcastic banter that goes on here, and quick wit that you are both able to keep up with one another. And this is somebody who's going to be able to keep up with you, and you're going to be able to keep up with them. And you both have very sharp minds. I'm also hearing you both have very sharp tongues. So you keep up with one another quite well. Let's take a look at the mask that you both wear. So this could be anything that can complicate vulnerability as you are courting one another, like during the courtship. It's meant for both of you. So take it as it resonates. We have the 3 of spring, which is the 3 of wands. We have the 4 of summer, which is the 4 of cups. And we have the king of autumn, which is the king of pentacles. So pile number 3. When it comes to possible complications around vulnerability, or just complications in general, one thing to be mindful of is not overdoing it with work and responsibilities. So both of you need to be intentional about spending time together and about prioritizing one another, especially at the beginning when you're getting to know one another, when you are getting to learn more about one another. And while you're in, like, that dating stage, that stage of just allowing both of you to connect at a deeper level. Also, this is really saying keeping things exciting and mixing it up, and making sure that you are dating and trying new things, and again, keeping it exciting is going to be important for this group. And I think this is more of a long-term as well. Like, keeping things exciting, keeping things fresh, keeping the romance alive is going to be very important for this group. And communicating about where you are at in that process. Like, if you feel like things are losing their excitement, or there's a lack of romance, or somebody's working too much and the other person is feeling a little bit abandoned, right? Bringing that up and making it a point to do something about it, to change it, to create more balance. I will also say for this group, being present in the present moment is going to be important. Don't go so far into the future that you are not giving yourself time and space to enjoy the present. Don't go so far into the future that you are putting pressure on what comes next before you even get there. That's going to be very important for this group. Making sure that you can remain grounded, right? It's important to be able to plan for the future and to have an idea of where you want to be in a few months, in a year, in 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is. But also, don't go into this in a way that you are so far ahead that you forget to enjoy it for what it is. Like, when you are dating this person, it does, just because they're going to be your future spouse doesn't mean you have to skip over the getting to know each other and the having fun and the excitement part of it. And I think on the other hand, also, just when it comes to work and prioritizing, again, that's coming through as important of like, yes, it's important to want more and it's important to desire comfort and riches, but also it's just as important to prioritize the relationship and the connection to one another. Let's take a look at what is the grand gesture here. So, how does your future spouse pursue or proves their love to you? We have Temperance, Two of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the Lovers, Queen of Wands. Pile number 3. I think that your future spouse is going to be someone that part of them choosing you and part of how they're going to prove their love to you is by choosing you. It's by prioritizing you. And I think that this is a group where this may come up throughout the relationship of, this is what I need. I need more communication. I need more time. I need more dates, or can we be more intentional? And this could be something that you're both saying to one another. But one of the ways that your future spouse shows up and proves their love to you, or how they demonstrate their love to you and how they pursue you, is by choosing you and by changing certain patterns of behavior. And what I think for this person, especially if your future spouse is the Elk, I think this is somebody who is used to working very hard and someone who is used to prioritizing work and finances and the material world over connection. And part of the way that they're going to show up and say, you are my person, I want you, you mean a lot to me, and I want this to work between us, is by making sure that you know that you are their priority, by making sure that you know that they are choosing you, and making sure that you know that the future that they envision with you is more important than the life that they are used to living. Because I do also think that when you connect with this person, that when you are going through the stages of building a relationship that is going to lead to marriage, that they are going to notice, like, I was missing out in life. There were parts of my life that were not fulfilling, even though I didn't necessarily realize that at the time. I can now see how it's more fulfilling to have someone to come home to. I can now see how it's more fulfilling and more satisfying to have someone that I can talk to and spend time with, rather than being in the office for 13, 14 hours a day, or being at work, or being in my business, or doing whatever it is that they've been doing. So this person is going to be very intentional about choosing you and making adjustments in their life that is going to be welcoming for you. part of this is going to be making space in their life. This is going to be someone that I really do think this person is going to make it a point to introduce you to the people in their lives. This person is going to make it a point to include you in their day-to-day life. And I also think that this person is going to make you one of their top priorities. And not in a way that feels unhealthy, but in a way that feels like, I hear you, I see you, I understand you, so let me make you the priority in my life. Let me make you someone that I choose, and I choose us above a lot of things, right? Like, obviously, there may be some responsibilities there, like going to work, that have to come first, but this person is going to make it a point to choose time with you. And I do think, pile number 3, that this is somebody who's very busy. I do think, pile number 3, that this is somebody that has a lot going on. And that's part of how they prove that they are ready to be with you and prove their commitment to you, is by making you a priority. Someone here is going to, like, what is this? This feels like they fix up a room for you in their house. And what I mean by that, I'm not meaning like you sleep here, I sleep here. Obviously, if that's something that you're into. But what I mean by that is, like, they're making space for you in their life and in their home. Like, maybe you work from home, or you need an office space, and they create a little space for you to have in their home. Or maybe it's like they clear out one of the cabinets for you, or one of the drawers, or they clear out a little bit of closet space. Like, they're gonna show you that they want you in their life in a very tangible, in a very practical, realistic type of way. I actually really like that. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at the union, right? When does this relationship deepen? How does this relationship begin to deepen, right? Because we're talking about the talking, dating stages. How does it deepen into more? We have the King of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Five of Wands. You choose each other. And this relationship deepens when both of you realize what you mean to one another. This feels like what was once a priority, or what was once at the forefront of your minds, and what was once the main focal point of attention, just drifts off to the back of the mind, right? Where it's, I just want to be with pile number 3, right? Whether it's you're the wolf or you're the elk, your person just wants to be with you. Your person just wants to spend time with you. And I also think that this relationship deepens. For some of you, you go and take a trip to, it could be a trip, or it could be like you just go and meet this person's like parents, or they meet your parents, like, or it's like you meet like friends, or you go somewhere together. For this group, it's going to be a very like natural moving into the next steps. Like, every little thing, every little choice, every little decision leads you closer to the next step. It leads you closer to connecting at a deeper level. For some of you, part of how this is demonstrated is like your person takes you to like a work function, or they invite you to like their family's home. This feels like it's not even so much words as much as actions, as much as like they're showing you through their actions what you mean to them and what they are building with you. I want to take a look at these private, so I called it the stolen moments, right? Because Bridgerton themed, but in reality, what we're looking at is the private moments. So how will your bond deepen during the private moments that you spend together? The 8 of Pentacles with change, the 3 of Pentacles with Ivy, and the Queen of Pentacles with soon you'll get better. This is very, I don't want to say slow moving because I don't necessarily think it's very slow moving, but this is very meaningful, but it's also romantic, but it's romantic in a way that it's more about, instead of it being like these grand, elusive gestures, this is romance in a very practical, realistic way. So when you both spend time together, like these private moments between you, it's both of you like cooking together. It's both of you spending time together. This feels like a relationship where you can sit in the same room and just watch a show and not even have to talk. Like maybe you're just holding hands, or you're both sitting in the same room and you're reading a book, but you don't have to say a word. This is a lot of comfort, a lot of security, and a lot of safety within the comfort of each other, within the presence of each other. And it's very nurturing. It's very loving, but it's also both of you welcoming in the other into your day-to-day life. So it doesn't feel extravagant. It doesn't feel like we have to go do something. We have to go on an adventure. Because I do think there's a level of that, right? There's a level of we take vacations together. We have a good time together. But this also feels like in our day-to-day lives, we make it a point to include one another and to welcome each other in. And I think part of what the private moments between the two of you will be, they feel very domestic in the sense of you are both just leaning in and enjoying day-to-day life with one another. And I think that has to do, like I said, like let's watch a show together. Let's read a book. Let's cook something together. Let's just sit here and hold one another, and we don't even have to say a word. This feels like the type of group where like watching the stars just feels magical, or listening to music together where we don't have to say a word because we're comfortable. And I also think in your private moments, there's going to be a lot of intimacy that's also going to build and deepen the bond between the both of you even further. This is actually really, really beautiful, pile number 3. Because this feels very nurturing and very loving and very calm. Let's take a look at promenade. So how will friends and family perceive your union? Okay, we have the Empress. Oh, shoot. The Star. The Devil card. First and foremost, I have to say it because it's here. Pile number 3. I think your friends and family are going to recognize that the two of you can barely keep your hands off of one another, and I think that's why the Devil is here. That's one of the reasons the Devil is here, because I think that you two, even if you're not into public displays of affection, there is a level of like, it's really charged up when you two are in the same room. And I do think that this is a connection that the intimacy and the physical intimacy is going to be a big part of it. And a big part of how you connect and how you communicate and how you solve some issues, right? But in addition to that, I think this is very beautiful because I think that your friends and family, and this is about both sides, right? Your friends and family, their friends and family, they're going to recognize that this is almost like something that is meant to be. That this is a relationship, a connection that is very abundant for the both of you. And it feels like it's sent from above. Like this feels like the type of relationship where even if somebody doesn't believe in like spirituality or they don't believe in magic, like they would describe this type of connection and they would describe the two of you together as almost magic, right? It just works. It's two people that care about one another and they show up for one another. And I think that they recognize the beauty that you bring into their life, right? If it's your future spouse's family. And I think your family will recognize the effects, like the wonderful effects and the beauty that your person brings in your life. And there is a sense that both of you together are able to manifest and to create even more than what you were able to do on your own. It's almost like you boost one another up. You boost each other up in your manifesting abilities, but also in your ability to experience happiness and comfort and joy and all of the beautiful things that life has to offer. And I think one of the beautiful things about this union is that you are both going to really bless one another. And this does feel like your family and friends become your future spouse's family and friends, and vice versa. It doesn't feel like there's any issues here. As a matter of fact, it feels like their friends become your friends, and vice versa, where it's like these people, even I will go through the ends of the world for these people because we get along, we're friends, we're really cool with one another. Let's take a look at the engagement. So this is going to be how this connection advances to the next stage. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the World card. And we have the 10 of Cups. Pile number 3, for some of you, it's the recognition that you are ready for more. This could be a pregnancy. This could be the desire to have children. This could be the desire to adopt. This could be, I think for this group, for many of you, not all of you, but I think for many of you in this group, there will be children. Or it's the combining of families. So maybe if there were previous children on your side or their side, it's both of you kind of combining households. But to me, this feels very intentional. And it feels like I recognize that what I want is a family. I want to live with my spouse. I want to raise our children. I want to have a family. Whatever that means for you. If you don't want children and you just want like pets, or you don't want pets, you don't want anything, whatever that is to you, there's a recognition of I want more and I want to experience this in a very specific way. And I have to be honest, for some of you, there may be like a surprise pregnancy. This could be also just like, I want a pregnancy and we're going to move this along very intentionally. This could also be a move, a change of some sort. This could be like purchasing a house together and then deciding it's time to take the next step. But it feels like a very like clear milestone that you're going to reach that is what's going to like push you forward to the next level, to the next step. And for some of you, it's like you're planning it. So it's not like a surprise, right? Like it doesn't have to be a surprise, we're pregnant, so we're going to do it. We're going to get married because of that. It could be like, we're ready to be pregnant, so let's get married first. Something along those lines. Take that as it resonates. But this is a very specific milestone or a very specific goal that you both reach that point that you then decide to take it to the next level and you get like either engaged, get married. It's going to be different things for different people in this group, but there's like an escalation for sure of we go from this to this. And it feels like a very specific something, whether that is getting married, getting pregnant, getting married then pregnant, getting engaged, whatever it is. That choice takes you to the next level. But pile number 3, let's take a look at what you need to know right now in order to attract this in. This is something that you can do, something that you can focus on. Let's see what, if anything, needs your attention. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Sun card. Pile number 3. First and foremost, if you are exhausted, if you are overworked, if you are doing so much that you are barely keeping up, it's time to give yourself a break. Also, for some of you, continue to focus on what you have been manifesting, but make sure that you're going about it in a way that is not draining your energy, that is not completely depleting your energy. As far as what can be done when it comes to love, because this to me doesn't feel like so much of a love message, it feels like a very personal, just keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're finding moments of enjoyment and moments that you can give yourself a break. And I think a gratitude practice can be very helpful for this group. But for some of you, only take this if it resonates. If you are keeping your walls so high that you don't let anybody in, just be aware of that. But I also want to say, when we looked at the current energy, when you connect with one another, your person is going to make it in, and you're both going to be kind of in that space of keeping your walls up. So I wouldn't. It's not stopping them. It's not stopping them from connecting with you. It's not stopping the connection, but it could be something to be aware of. But I think for this group, mainly just give yourself a break, because I think some of you are exhausted. Some of you have a lot going on. So give yourself a break. Find something that you enjoy. Give yourself time to just do something for enjoyment and to take care of yourself. Let's take a look at what else we have here. Practice compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. And we have be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. And also offer yourself support, right? Show up for yourself. Offer yourself compassion. Give yourself all of these things that you can give other people. But to end it, we have a goddess card. This could be a goddess that you can work with. This is a message. Take it as it resonates. Take it the best way. If you want to work with a goddess, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But we have Oshun with cleanse, and it says protect your energy. And I think we have that Four of Swords there, right? And the Four of Swords can be just about protection. And we see, especially in this Four of Swords here, like the swords are facing out and her floaty is in heart shape and nothing is getting near, right? Find balance between those energies, pile number 3. And this could be a good time to do like a spiritual cleanse. This could be a spiritual bath cleanse. This could be like smudging. This could be a good time to do a cleanse of some sort. But pile number 3, claim it in the comments. I lovingly protect my energy while remaining open. I don't know if that makes sense, but I lovingly protect my energy while remaining open to love. There we go. That sounds better. But pile number 3, that is what I have for you. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if it resonates with you. Also, let me know what your favorite Bridgerton couple is. If you have read the books and it's somebody that hasn't had their season yet, let me know. I always love talking about these things. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Next one coming up is going to be the career and finances reading. So let me know if you have any specific questions that you want answered with that. Thank you for letting me read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.